Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. It's time to come back. It's time to come back just like Midweek Serie. I'm not ready for it. I'm putting on a brave face. It's Monday, 7 p.m. in Sydney. The week has literally just started for Bruno and I, and here we are with smiles talking to Inter fans about a midweek game on Wednesday. We are way too nice, bro. I don't want to hear anything about us not being nice people. This is a joke.
Yeah, no, it's going to be chaotic until November, especially after the Champions League draw. So it's going to be a quick. The match days are going to fly past.
Yeah, tell me about it. There's already 14 people that clicked the link, which is nice and quick. I guess we're doing it at a slightly more convenient time than we usually would, but Midweek CALCIO is back. We face Cremonese, and I'm really glad that Marvel Lawson, who usually checks in a little bit late today, will not miss the stream. Remind me again where you're tuning in from, my guy, because it'll make a lot of sense as soon as I know your time zone. John Fazino is in the house. Thank you very much for joining us. Our brother, Huyan. Damn, it's already match day. Our thoughts exactly, bro. I still haven't gotten over the Lazio game. You and I, 3. Honestly, man, the Lazio game was a little bit harsh, and that's where we have to start. We need to take the L. We need to take the pride, and let's bring it up on screen. Outplayed throughout the whole game, despite the first 20 to 25 minutes. Bruno, we were really good for the first 25 minutes, and it sucked because I never get into live chats that early, but I made the stupid mistake of getting into a Facebook live chat and just saying that we are pressing extremely well and handling this game extremely well. This is after about 20 minutes, and after that, the heads just dropped a little bit. We concede, and we go into the break 1-0 down. Overall, we lose 3-1 to Lazio, a fixture that we have not won in a long time against them in Rome. It's a sad state of affairs, but I thought, Bruno, while I was watching the game, like the last time we won against these guys in Rome was with Conte. I re-looked it back. We didn't even win with Conte, with these guys, man. We don't go to Lazio and win, and the trend has continued, man.
Yeah, and a lot of the pressures put on Inzaghi. A couple of terrible decisions with the initial lineup, just not really taking this fixture seriously. I'm not sure if he wanted to take it a bit less lighthearted because it is his former club, but starting Gagliardini instead of Hakan and putting DeMarco, he's hot and cold, but Gossens needs to get match fit come Champions League, and that's right around the corner. We're talking this time next week. We'll be doing a preview for that fixture.
Wow.
So, you really want the legs on these boys to be nice and fit, but at the same time, he just didn't approach it the way he should have. And when you underestimate your opponents, let alone a team managed by Serie, you're gonna cop it left, right, and center. But that's not even the worst news. The news of Lukaku potentially missing the Cremonese fixture, which we'll cover, as well as more than likely missing the AC Milan derby. You're also potentially looking at him missing the Bayern Munich game this time next week. So, we're really shot ourselves in the foot.
It's an injury that sort of came out of nowhere because when he was subbed off against who was it, Lazio, I thought, wow, this is a very weird, ballsy decision by Inzaghi. But maybe he was complaining about some pain there, man, because he didn't have a muscular injury the whole time that he's been at Inter, and here he is now with one fresh early in the season. Hopefully it gets treated right because we are going to need him epically. And I guess that boasts the question that going into this match against Cremonese, would have you rotated anyway, Bruno?
I would have rotated against Cremonese. I would have started Hakan against Lazio and started Gagliardini against Cremonese. They've had one of the toughest starts for the newly promoted teams in Fiorentina, Torino, and there was another tough team in there, Roma. And so they've really been run out on their feet. Not just that, it's a fixture which, our reserves should be really flourishing in. And, I would have gone into this fixture all confidence, resting Barella and starting Gagliardini, resting Brozovic and even starting Correa, Dzeko up front. And I really got to second guess what's going to happen because Inzaghi seems to be questioning himself a bit too much.
Yeah, well said, man. Can't argue with any of that. Inzaghi overthought about everything in this match, starting 11 and subs. You know what I also realized, my guy Huyan, is that, oh, that's nice. I'll get to that in a sec. Is that we've had this luxury of Bruno of being able to bring in, and I took it for granted. We didn't think about this, bro. Arturo Vidal was coming in to close games last season. Forget that. Gagliardini is Il Nuovo Arturo Vidal. Like you want some physicality in midfield for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Someone gets injured. There's no Vidal there anymore on mammoth wages. You're literally looking at Gagliardini. What do you say about that? And what do you say about Inzaghi's comments about Aslani being more of a vice Brozovic and not actually in the rotational phase of midfield? Because that also wasn't the best thing to hear.
Yeah, it wasn't the best thing to hear, but it was comforting to hear because we've lacked a vice Brozovic for the better part of 6 years. Just being optimistic on that front, someone who can go a whole 90 minutes. But Vecino.
Oh, come on. This guy. What do you...
Vecino.
What the...
Like, where did he come from? Like,
look, I'm not going to lie.
What stupid team sold him? And who is this guy?
When I saw him playing better than Gagliardini and overall having a good game, I thought to myself, this is poetic, man.
You're thinking of Bruno. I've been a one-man fan club for this guy for a very long time. And I just love the way he can hold the ball. And he doesn't... See, the best football IQ sometimes is having no football IQ. And he just does the basics. He doesn't try to get all technical. He doesn't try to look for that spectacular pass. He does the basics and he does them good. And sometimes that's what you need. And Gagliardini should have been better than that. But look, I just think, yeah, I really would have loved to have seen that midfielder, what's his name? The vice Brozo? Aslani. I really would have loved to have seen Aslani take a better part in the squad, but the fact that he is vice Brozo gives me a bit more comfort as well, especially with the World Cup coming up. And you do have a really good idea that Croatia is going to go deep. But, you know, you really don't want to be struggling for a defensive mid come January because transfer market's going to be hot. But we did get a gift, and
yeah, we did, man. Thank you very much to our good friend Uncle Sharma for coming in with our first super chat since we got monetized and back up to 1K, which we just activated this week. Thank you very much to my OG Uncle Sharma. And make sure if you live under a rock, you are subscribing to his channel. Najib says, I feel that our real problems are not being acknowledged. This team has been dying for some creativity for a long time. In the contest system, it showed as much as now we are in dire need of some creativity. 100%, man. I could not echo that enough, and I'm actually going to get to that soon. Yes, horrible game. My Scudetto from Lord Figo, of course, he still owes one in lieu from last season. Let's see how we go. Look at this. Look at these late members of Vecino FC checking in, Bruno. See, one thing I got to give my brother from another mother, Bruno, is that he's been like we could dig up the Borussia Dortmund preview from 2019 and you'd be sitting there saying, Vecino's going to get on the score sheet. But here we've got some real late check-ins like our boy Tim, like our boy Jono and Hoyan. I'm surprised Vecino didn't score. So how you feeling, Bruno, man? You're going to get the gang, all this gang together for Vecino FC?
No, look,
You've still got him in your fantasy team, right? I'm sure he got 100%. More points than any midfielders.
He scored me 4 points.
Yes.
He did better than Lukaku as captain. But no, look, I just feel he was that player you could rely on come 80th minute to not cost you a goal, but to hold the ball and not play that defensive, I'm going to clear it every chance I get because we don't want to lose this 2-1 lead.
Yeah, fair call, man. Let's talk a little bit about our opponents. No, it's not Torino. This is just a screenshot of the goal that was scored against Cremonese, and it's not zoomed in enough, so I'm going to go to the next image. Cremonese did fall, but still played admirably. They played even better than they did against Fiorentina, which is a certain mistake from a certain returning certain goalkeeper is going to take part in this fixture on Wednesday. But overall, they're pretty much like Monza in a sense that they're probably playing the best football that the club has played in 2 decades. It's just that the levels are a bit of a boys against men. It really reminds me of the Venezia start to the season last season. And I think that over time, Cremonese will pick up points to give their fans a little bit of hope. But as of right now, there's nothing to suggest and no players to suggest that they are going to survive the drop. Bruno, going into this match, you know, my inner pessimism has been checking in over the course of the day. But There is no reason why, even with a Lukaku injury, shouldn't Joaquin Correa and Eden Dzeko come in. We've got to beat this team, bro. We need to beat them comfortably before the derby. The derby is literally 7 days away, man. Less.
No, 4 days away, 5 days away, something like that.
Maybe not that soon, but it's very close. It's very, very close.
Yeah, because it's the early fixture. I think it's Saturday our time because of Champions League. Both Inter and AC are going to be in there, and we're playing Sunday morning 2 a.m.
So Sunday morning 2 a.m. and we've got to play Wednesday our time.
We're playing Wednesday our time, Sunday morning 2 a.m. and then Thursday for Champions League against
You need 3 points and a comfortable win against Cremonese, like no tomorrow.
Inzaghi is still making stupid mistakes. Exactly where I was about to go with this. He needs to step up his game. He needs to step up his game. Last season, I said it multiple time and time again. He's inherited a Conte team. They're still running on Conte time, like jet lag. When you get to your destination, you're still in the time zone you were at before. This is Inzaghi's first proper season with Inter. I
think I might have just lost Bruno. It could just be me. Let me know in the chat if he's still around, because there's a big possibility it could just be my Wi-Fi not registering him. So just let me know in the chat right now, did we lose Bruno or not? And I'll carry on right from there. We've got these
All right, guys, can you hear me? Because Anthony's gone. I've been waiting, thinking that he was the one. I was the issue, so I was testing my internet. But yeah, look, I just think when it comes to Cremonese, RADU is gonna have the game of his life, as we see time and time again. These former Inter players, RADU will basically be, saving everything left, right, and center, because that's what our former players do. But overall, we've got the quality, we've got the depth, we've got the ability to rest some players and still get a proper result. Cremonese is my team that I just picked to go straight back down as quick as they came up. They will be going down. So I'm just going back through the chat because everyone's telling me to speak now. Yes, back to Jonathan. Inzaghi making stupid mistakes as a manager. Thank you for the super chat. Let's hope he knows how to manage like a big manager sooner rather than later. I'm assuming that's what you tried to say there. Yes, and that was the thing I was on before Anth cut me off. Conte effect lasted well into last season. He's gone. You need to work something out. Just bringing back Lukaku doesn't mean you bring him back the Conte style. I don't want to see Dzeko and Lautaro like the last season. I feel this is a game, Dzeko and Correa. It was you, Anthony, not me. You had me testing.
I just had like a full mini blackout in my house. I don't know what happened, bro. And I thought it was you, and I carried on talking like a dickhead. Sorry.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I see Correa, Dzeko starting up front. We will get to our lineups soon. Inzaghi needs to give Gosens more time so he can get some confidence. I'm assuming that's meant to say confidence. Yes, that's what I was saying earlier, especially with Champions League coming up. He can play. So that is that. Everyone's telling me to speak. Yes, as Jonathan says, be sure to like and subscribe, everyone. And Rocky, We need to move the ball a lot quicker. I'm over our back three and Handanovic passing to each other too many times and going sideways. I think they've got that nostalgic feeling from that goal against Barcelona where it all started at the back and they're just passing slowly, and then bang, straight up the field. But is anyone else tired of Barella and Brozovic's bad attitude on the pitch? This is something I have echoed for 2 years. Everyone's calling for, Barella captain, Brozovic captain. Their attitudes aren't the ones which
the Conte fairy dust is off the shoulders now, bro. And this is where characters need to start to step up, because they're living in a fantasy world if they think that things are going to be as easygoing in terms of success as it was when they had the drill sergeants in. They had people doing the mental legwork for them. And they're going to realize soon, if they haven't realized already, Bruno, that rising above their own physical health and being mentally strong and being mental champions, it's very, very tough to do, man. We're not the oldest blokes in the bunch, but we've been around long enough to know that the teams that win European Cups, the team that win titles, they've got a certain psychological edge over everybody else. Have we started talking about RADU or not yet?
Huh?
Have we started talking about RADU or not yet?
I already covered that. He's going to have the game of his life. Yeah. That's what they tend to do. But I like this comment from Huyan Onana. This is the game to blood him into the squad. This is the game you give Honda a rest. You're not going to start Onana in the game like a derby, but you could potentially be starting him in a game like Bayern Munich. So you need to blood him into the team. He needs to get some form of confidence with our defense. The goalkeeper is our last line of defense, but at the same time, he keeps his troops in front of him in lines and tells them where to be and what to do. So he needs to build that, He needs to build that chemistry with them. And I think this is a fantastic fixture just for him to build that chemistry with the squad and get a bit comfortable in an Inter jersey, because I don't really see too many attacking threats. Although Cremonese has scored 3 goals this season with 3 different goal scorers, they just don't. Ant's going to touch on it later, but they don't know how to play a full 90-plus minute game of football, especially when they played, 2 days ago. Backing up this fixture congestion, is this something that they are going to be able to maintain? And we've seen time and time again, especially in COVID and so forth, with a fixture congestion hitting, the smaller clubs tend to suffer the most because they have nowhere near the squad depth and the mentality of the bigger clubs, and they're not used to playing these extra fixtures.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. Fair call. They're 3 losses out of 3 in Serie A. They lost the opening game of the season due to a RADU blunder, 2-3 away to Fiorentina in Florence. Then they lost away also to Roma and just lost at home to Torino. So 3 away games in their first 4 fixtures, that being one against Inter Roma and another one against Fiorentina, is actually really hard. You got to almost feel for their introductory run after coming up from Serie B. That's an absolute nightmare from hell. And it doesn't surprise me that they could potentially go 4 losses out of 4. But also, there's a certain incentive for them to come out of here and walk away with a point. And that's why I'm scared.
And they also have Inter have an extra day rest on them as well. So if you look there, Inter played on the 26th, whereas Cremonese played on the 27th. And that's something to hold up. Here we are joined by Unhappy FC by the looks of it.
That's it. Take some of the heat off me, man. I feel like I'm the only pessimist in the room. I've been getting grilled in all chats, left, right, and center, Tim. Apparently, I'm too unhappy at the moment, bro.
No, I'm feeling horrible, man. I need some interworldwide counselling today. I'm still not over Lazio game.
Yeah, we're not qualified, but we can still try.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was honestly one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. I feel like it was just horrible. I was down the rest of the day, down the rest of the week, really, after that. So
after the first 25 minutes, all the intensity just dropped. It's almost like this team needs an early goal to make sure that they're coasting. But at the end of the day, man, very rarely do we go there and win. Very few teams will go there and have a good time this season. So we need to pump Cremonese because everybody's a fickle fan at the end of the day. You're as strong as your last result and you're as happy as your last result. You pump Cremonese, all is forgiven, right?
Yeah, that's right. And like I'm expecting us to still beat Cremonese, but I was thinking more the Milan derby. If we can go there and win that, I think this will be forgotten and we won't be too worried about it. But I think you guys hit the nail on the head with the Conte dust is starting to wear off. I'm starting to get a bit worried, to be honest.
It's off, bro. It's
gone.
almost off completely. You think that guy's still thinking about us? He's got 39 points since March. He's the highest collecting manager, I think, in European football besides Ancelotti for Real Madrid. And he's honestly just collects points. That's what he does. And it would not surprise me this season to see Spurs finish second, third, or fourth in the Premier League. And who knows, maybe the biggest miracle of all time and they actually capture that big trophy. But enough about that. At the end of the day, what Frankie GI2533 says is true. Inzaghi better sort the team out quickly or the buying game will be a slaughter. Like what I don't believe as well, like honestly, people saying that this Barcelona team is trash or it's one of the weakest. I watched them today. I've seen their team on paper. This is fantasy football level stuff. The players that they rested, get this, the players that they had no space for on the pitch today after 5 subs were Aubameyang, Pjanic, Jordi Alba, Memphis Depay, and someone else. And I'm sure they were good.
Yeah. No, that's scary. That is absolutely scary.
And after this game, our next 10 fixtures, we face, and out of all of those, we've got Milan, Bayern, Torino. Then we've got that Victoria Plzen, whoever they are.
Is Torino away?
Torino's at home. But then we've got Roma, and we face Barca twice in that as well. And that's our next 10 fixtures. And if we don't win, if a statement's not made by Inter in this fixture against Cremonese, because you've got to admit, our first game of the season against Lecce was quite scrappy. Spezia, well, it's Spezia. Then you get your first real challenge. You fall at that first post. The pressure's already on. The pressure's already on. And the same goes for AC Milan as well, because if you win the derby, you're forgiven for your result the following day in the Champions League. And I don't know if you boys remember when Inzaghi was at Lazio and now in the Champions League, he pulled off a miracle against Bayern. So
Lazio, didn't they get smacked like 4-1 either side?
The first leg.
Oh yeah, sorry. What was the second leg score?
I have no idea, but I know it was a lot closer than it should have been. But you know, and AC Milan, they're traveling for their Champions League fixture to Salzburg.
It's going to be tough.
So it is. They both need a good result. And I said it in our Champions League draw chat. The pressure's on AC Milan due to the draw that they got. It's a very winnable group. Whereas Inter, the pressure's not so much on them when it comes to Champions League when you look at who they're facing. And if Inter can get 1 point out of a potential 12 against Bayern and Barca, I'd personally rate it a success based on paper. You never know what happens on game day, and they could be playing absolute trash. But at the same time, the pressure's not on Inter. So if the pressure's not on Inter when it comes to Champions League, it's clearly on them when it comes to the Scudetto, and they cannot be slipping up again. So Cremonese, you want to say 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah,
you definitely do. And just looking at this team right now, like I'll hold my hand up and say, I've usually got something pretty thorough to say about every starting lineup in Serie A. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing apart from RADU. Like honestly, apart from RADU and their centre back, I have absolutely nothing. And to be honest, we should be walking all over this team with Lautaro and Dzeko up front. It would not surprise me at all to see another couple of changes in this one, most notably in the back three. You could see D'Ambrosio coming in this match. You could also see Di Marco shifting to the back three here to make way for Gosens to start. Tactically, that makes sense. Physicality and injury-wise, does it make sense to play Gosens against Cremonese? There's arguments good and bad for both sides of that. Denzel Dumfries, will Darmian get minutes under his legs, or will Inzaghi be proactive and say playing my more aggressive right wing back will probably result in a couple of goals, either assisted or maybe one scored? I just think that at this point, after 3 games, all the next game is the most important game. And it's tough to say that when you've got Cremonese and Milan in the space of 6 days. But Cremonese is the most important game of our fixture list until it's finished. So we'll go to Tim first. How you feeling about these lineups going toe-to-toe, man?
I still feel really confident that we're going to probably smash them. But I do think, I can't remember who was saying in the chat before, but I do think Gossens needs to start getting some more minutes because he's just not clicking at the moment. And the only way that's going to happen and get him some confidence is to give him some time on the pitch. So I would be starting him over DeMarco, particularly because he didn't play well last game. Looking at the rest, you could probably give someone in the back three a bit of a spell. But I don't want to see Dzeko and Lautaro either. I'd rather Correa.
You'd rather Correa? Bruno, who would you rather start this one? You want to see the, what's it called, the Asado clan in there cooking that beef?
So I'd love to see Dzeko, Correa, rest Lautaro. Just because, and you know what? Halftime, if you don't have a result yet, you take Dzeko off and bring on El Toro.
I'm telling you now, if you start Correa, Dzeko, you will not have a result at halftime.
But if you've got Çalhanoğlu and Barella in the midfield, anything's possible. I'd take Damian on for Dumfries. I'd put D'Ambrosio on for Skriniar. Shift DeMarco to Bastoni's position and put on Gossens. If he can't put in a good show against Cremonese, how do you expect him to start against Bayern? And I'd take Handanovic off for Onana. You need to blood him into this team as soon as possible. So that lineup there is very different to what I would hope to see. Because this is a fixture where you can afford to gamble because even the Damians of the team are probably better than, their starting 11 there. So, and with all the pressure that's been on and the hype around Onana, well, he shouldn't be facing much in this. But if we do rest Skriniar and Bastoni and they do get through the defense, well, he needs to make those saves.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
No, Bruno, we can't have Lautaro off because I've just subbed him into my team.
Ooh.
Lautaro has to start.
Well, that reminds Bruno and I, we need to take a certain someone out of our fantasy team, and not just because he's injured, because he stunk it up. He stunk it up on the weekend.
No, that's who I subbed. I transferred Lukaku out for Martinez.
Let's go to our predictions, and then we'll go to the chat, and then we'll talk some fantasy to finish off. So predictions, I'll start. I'll do the embarrassing thing. The Bet365 in me wants to say 1-1 on camera, but also I can't lie. We have to win this game, as simple as that. But I think it's going to be a really, really tough fixture. I see it being extremely painful. I'm going to go for 2-1. Goals for Lautaro and Dumfries if he plays. What about you, Bruno?
4-1. And they all come in the second half. Cremonese fall asleep at 50, 55 minutes every single game. So by that time, Lautaro, Correa, Çalhanoğlu, and Barella.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've been watching Cremonese this season and noticed about the 60, 65th minute, they start to gas it quite intensely. Bruno. Tim, what about you?
I'm going to go, I reckon we'll come out and win 3-0. I actually do think we're going to pump them. I reckon Lautaro will get 2 and Hakan will get 1.
Nice. I like the Hakan prediction, man. I nailed that one perfectly against Spezia. I was really upset to see him not start, man. I actually think that was the most undroppable of the three midfielders in the first 2 games. And I can imagine the Turkish ego in him is not happy about that either, bro.
What's wrong with Brozovic and Barella? Because Hoyan was saying that as well. What's with the attitudes?
I'm telling you right now, man, the egos are starting to come through without someone like a Conte and a Pintus and an Oriali there, bro. And I know Simone Inzaghi's a bit pazzo. Some fans were telling me this today when I started questioning his mentality. They were like, he is crazy. He's always shouting. I'm like, yeah, he might be shouting, but is he shouting at the right people in the right time? There's context to everything, man. Yeah. Shouting at the referee doesn't make you a Conte. At the end of the day, those players would die for the predecessing manager. They'd be too scared to make a mistake because he'd be ready to slap them. Are they exactly scared, or are they getting a little bit complacent here? I can see the physical and the mental signs, man. So we need to be proven otherwise.
He could be, Inzaghi could be like Anthony, this. You see those teachers sometimes that yell at kids all day, but the kids don't respect them, don't listen to them.
100%, bro. They're the funniest ones that walk around the school.
Yeah, Inzaghi, he strikes me as a guy could be like that. I don't know.
Little bit. I don't
yeah.
mind. I don't mind that, bro. I'm going to keep an eye out on him a bit more to see how that
Yeah.
goes. That goes. All right. It's been a really good preview, and I really appreciate it. We've still got 23 people with us right now, which is really, really good. Let's do a little bit of a share for Serie A Fantasy. Make sure if you haven't actually joined our league, our personal league, that you make sure and go and do that, because we've got 138 members. I'm a part of about 4 or 5 myself, and this is really nice. You know what's not nice though, Bruno? Remember how I was flexing nice and hard last season? Bro, I am on the last page after 3 rounds. The only reason I'm actually sharing the screen and not just talking about it is because someone is like 1 spot below me. It's on goal difference or head-to-head or something, because the rankings have just put me above Uncle Shama. But things are less than good. Things are not good. Man, I'm in the relegation zone here. So let's do some swapping out here. And oh no, it seems like I actually did swap out, what's it called? Lukaku for Simeone, which is now seeming like an expensive sub. So Tammy Abraham was the only reason I did well this week, and Rafael Leao. But Bruno, if I'm not mistaken, you're actually you're killing
page
it,
3,
man.
2 positions above Tim.
Ooh, jeez, someone knows.
I'm like 50.
Guys, link is in the description. So is the code. It's also scrolling on the bottom of your screen and is up there highlighted right now. Let's go to page 1 or 2. Did you say
3?
3.
3. Oh yeah, that's right. It's pretty close because it's the first 3 rounds.
Yeah. Well, like 57, I think.
look at Mario's name. All right, sweet. Lukaku, Osimhen. Are you gonna keep Vecino in there?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What a merchant.
He has scored me big point, not big points, but he's been the most consistent, getting 3s and 4s every week. Milinkovic Savic got a 1 last week for me.
Yeah. Toloi has the advantage of being in that Gasperini build-up system where he probably completes a lot of forward passes, and his stats are pretty good.
Yeah, look, so this is a fixture where the inter-strikers should get some points in them based off the goals that we expect them to score.
That's why I put Lautaro in. I'm expecting a couple of goals this week.
Where are you? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Tim's backing Luka Jovic. Oh, I think we've all got Osimhen in there. There you go. Anguissa, Fratesi. I like this team, bro. On paper, this would be quite balanced, man, except for Jovic not being able to run much on that left-hand side. But I like this. No. I don't mind this at all.
I've updated mine. It's not showing for some reason.
No, okay, cool. That's the previous match day, so it won't show your opponent's your team for the next.
No, I've switched out Lukaku for Lautaro, and I've brought in. Who did I bring in?
Oh, that's right. Ranocchia's out for time, eh?
Oh, Cristante. Cristante.
You brought in Cristante.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that probably won't get you a lot of points, but then he'll have an on day where he gets you 21 points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to swap Ranocchia out, but I'm gonna do it off camera because I want to take my time doing that. So make sure you are joining us Serie A Fantasy, and make sure you're liking and subscribing to Inter Worldwide. A lot more content to come. That is it for us previewing Cremonese. We're gonna have to be back literally straight after it to talk about Milan. CDS says Onana starts tomorrow. Look, we brought the lineups up from Gazzetta. Fair play to them for doing Probabili Formazione a little bit early. They're taking a bit of inspiration from Sky Italia there this season. If they say Onana starts tomorrow, that's really, really good. As Chris says, he needs minutes right away, and he can give the defense a needed boost with his athleticism. Just seeing him bring the ball up 10 to 20 yards is going to make me extremely happy when he does do that. Huyan says, did y'all notice after 3 games, all teams drop points? I did notice, man. I really did notice. And I'm going to do a Serie A roundtable this time tomorrow with some other friends. And we're probably going to talk about how Italy is the only of the big leagues to not have someone on 3 out of 3 games? I don't know about that. I know that, Bruno, what was the full-time score between Monaco and PSG this morning? I turned it off at 1-1. Good. I turned it off at 1-1 after like 88 minutes. So, yeah, I did notice that.
Just while we're talking about international leagues, how good was it to see Liverpool 9-0, but Salah had nothing to do with anything.
Right.
It's never a good day when Liverpool win 9-0.
9-0's a big
horrendous
score
day.
in top flight football.
Hey, look, City were
That's
down
embarrassing.
2-0 at half time, and Haaland just
Haaland,
pulled it
yeah.
out and managed
Yeah.
to get somewhere. But that's more for football worldwide chat.
He's
Yeah.
an alien.
There's-
An alien.
Good question. Someone asked, what do we reckon about the Lukaku injury?
Oh man, to be honest, I didn't even get that upset when I saw it, bro. I think
It's more precautionary.
Yeah.
A lot of the players, and you look at Paul Pogba, a lot of the players are taking their time now and want to take extra caution because it's end of August, so September, October, and then we've got World Cup. So there's 2 months from World Cup. You feel a little tightness, you want to get subbed off straight away because let's face it, the World Cup's bigger than any domestic league. So they're going to be taking a lot of caution. But I don't know if you remember Conte's first season, injury after injury after injury for all the Inter players. Barella, well, Sensi, he's still injured since then. But
has he played for Monza? Did he play for Monza? Imagine he's injured.
No idea.
I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now. I don't care. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping Lukaku's only out for this game. But they said he might.
I personally hope he's out for AC as well. I just feel the AC. Look, I'm not optimistic about that fixture, but I just feel the AC fans and players will get under Lukaku's skin very easily, especially after what happened last time with Zlatan and then him getting the corner post saying he's the king and all of that.
Yeah.
I just think I'd rather him go into Bayern with nice, fresh legs, especially after the job. I hope Inzaghi's watching Mönchengladbach's highlights for this morning yesterday morning, because they really are Bayern's voodoo team. Honestly, they're pulling it off. But I'd rather him go into that fixture with fresher legs and miss the derby.
Okay.
He's got really good history in the derby, but I don't think it's a question of whether he wants to play it. I don't think he's going to be 80% fit for the derby. And if he's not 80% fit for the derby and it's only match day 4, well, unfortunately, it's match day 4. It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're not fit by match day 4, rest for 2 extra weeks and get back to 100%, or else it becomes a much bigger problem for the rest of the season. Tim, thank you so much for coming through tonight, man. I know it was short and sweet, but any parting words? I'm sure we'll have you on soon.
Oh no, I just need a bit of an uplift in my interworld. We need a win, need a big win against Cremonese. So like I said, I'm sure if we can win against Milan or get at least a draw because it's our away match, I think that'll change spirits a bit. But I'm feeling a bit doom and gloom right now, boys.
Mentally, I haven't even come around to the prospect of winning this derby, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Vince, what about Bruno? What about you?
Look. It's gonna be a good fixture.
You're out of my house and laughing at that.
I can't focus now. You've thrown me off. Yeah, look, try not to burst out laughing. Look, this fixture needs to be it can't be like the Lecce game. This needs to be a dominant show, and I don't predict anything less than 4 goals being scored. How they're being scored and who's scoring them from which teams, I don't know, but it's going to be high intensity.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's going well, and we're going to open up some channel memberships over the next few days. I'm going to focus on that this week. I'm going to get that sorted, and hopefully we have a few people sign up to that, and we'll do some more exclusive content once we open the membership part of our channel, which I'm very excited for. So thank you, Tim. Thank you, Bruno. Forza Inter worldwide. Let's get it against Cremonese. It has to happen.